Thank you so much to Snowmelt for subscribing to the channel. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much for giving me a chance. I hope you enjoyed the content. Looking badass with that Zoro profile pic. I always love seeing Zoro as your guys' profile pic. I've seen a lot actually by now. But yeah, thank you so much once again. Hello, my name is Dr. Shambles, and today, hopefully, finally, this is the last theory crafting of the purple kata. Meibatsu released an early version with the OP11 cards, not all of them. So this is not my actual deck because there's something missing. I'm playing the Charlotte Monsdog, but right here because he's a searchable 2K. But I'm actually playing the vanilla 2K because I think it's just overall better. His effect is not really that good, but he's right here. So the deck list should be appearing right now as a whole. That's the deck list that I'm playing. And I finally got to test some hands, finally got to test the strategy, so I'm gonna make my case now on what I think the category strategy will be. First and foremost, I think we need to run 4 of the Charlotte Pudding Searchers and 4 of the Searcher event. Some people on the Discord are showing off their own deck profiles, and they try to release. They try to reduce the amount of copies that you play of the Searcher event. I don't believe this is possible because you need the utmost consistency, because you don't have that much mobility when it comes to your combos or your line of combo to get the best outcome for your deck to set up your win condition. That's pretty much it, and that's why I'm playing 4 of both. Also, there's in the description 3 other videos on my evolution and process of my thinking and just the theory crafting around this leader as the cards got released. And on that note, I just want to say sorry to the Charlotte Brule. Last video I was in a hurry, so I kind of just read her effect, thought it was shit, and moved on through. But the Discord server of the One Piece TCG made me realize how good this card is, so now we're playing 4 of her. So, with that said, let's finally go into the strategy. The strategy, I believe, is to go first, and I'm just going to give you the general idea, and then we're going to go through the line of combo. General idea: the deck is slow, the deck does not ramp as much. The reason why you go first is the first problem of the deck, not enough removal. Some people are taking the events of removal, some events of removal, sorry, but I don't think this is possible or the best way to go about it. This could potentially be my Purple Luffy brain going off here, because I am playing Purple Luffy, and Purple Luffy does not run any sort of events that remove board. He just uses his board. But the reason that I think we should go first is we need to set up board first to make sure that we can play the most amount of characters. So hopefully we have the most aggression early on. We cannot spam as much board as Purple Luffy. That is also why, again, we need to set up board early. Like, we just need to be the first ones to put a body on the field. Not only that, putting a body on the field first will ensure our Dawn ramp, our passive Dawn ramp, so we can reach the 8 cost blocker category curve, which is he is our win condition and he is our ace. So the strategy is you set up board first, you set up a passive Dawn ramp. This will usually be by setting up Pudding and Perospero together. So let's just go through a little bit of the line combo over here, which is second turn, you're 3 Dawn, you play Pudding, third turn, you play Perospero, and now every time you use your leader ability, you are actually setting up ramp, because Pudding revives your Dawn, and then Perospero ramps you up. This will be your main way to ramp up to the even curve, so you can play Charlotte category on curve, which is your best option right now, is to play category. The only thing you need to do is to go first, set up some aggression early, and then you play category. That's it. After that, we're gonna get to the late game. So, in part of the strategy, we are a late game deck and we are somewhat of a slow deck. Since I'm playing a lot of Search and a lot of Cycle, thanks to Perospero, I can reach our 9 cost Charlotte Lingling, our 10 cost Charlotte Lingling, and other categories blockers to slowly build extremely powerful bodies, so on late game I can go for game. What do I mean by this? We actually cannot go as aggro as, for example, once again, Purple Luffy. Obviously, you do want to swing to their lives from time to time, but what I found out by testing the deck is we are actually better off starving your opponent. Again, I think swinging with leader from time to time, obviously, to poke your opponent, and because you have passive Dawn ramp is the way to go, but as your characters, leave your characters active unless you are absolutely sure that child category can reactivate them for your opponent's turn. That's pretty much it. You want to slowly set up a very powerful board, and then you slowly poke away their lives to end up winning the game. But before we get to that state, we need to use our boards and maybe our leader swing that we would have used to the opponent's life to get the opponent's board. So this is to control their aggression until we finally start playing Katakuri. The more categories you play, the better. Then you just start. We keep on swinging to the board, and slowly they'll just not have enough cards in hand, and that's when we start using our big swings to take away lives. This will make more sense in a second, but this is what you want to do. Once we play blocker category, we enter a state of I want to call it loop. We enter a state of loop where we play a very big body like the 9-cost Lily. We swing with Perospero and the blocker category. Pass turn, category reactivates himself and the Perospero and ramps up Dawn. And then on your opponent's turn, you can use your leader ability for an extra 1k counter, get information on your opponent, set up for your 5k event, whatever. So we actually have really good defense because of this. And that's why, let's just finish it off here. The more categories you play, that means the more swings you can do, because you're just gonna reactivate himself as well. So we have blockers, we have the 5k event, we have the leader ability, and we are playing 12 2k cards. So this is the defensive power of category. Once we enter that loop state of swinging with characters and reactivating them, it will be very hard for your opponent to take away even one life to you. I'm telling you this right now. But before that, that's where we struggle, because we don't build board as fast, we don't have removal, and we need to, again, follow a very specific line of combo to make sure that we ramp and reach this loop state. So, let's go through the line of combo. Your starting hand is Pudding. You want to see 3-cost Pudding or the 3-cost Brulee, as well as your Sparrow, and hopefully Katakuri, the 8-cost category. These are your main cards, so it's pretty much 3 cards that you need to see in your hand. Pudding / Brulee, either one of them is fine, to be honest. We'll get to that. Then Perospero and Katakuri. This is why I believe we need to run as much consistency as we can, because this is a 3-card starting hand. We need to see these 3 cards to set up. Even I've seen some people on the Discord saying we need to go second to have more Dawn. Even with that, we still need to somewhat see these cards on your hand to set up a healthy ramp up, and so that you can abuse your leader effect, which is one of the strongest things you have. In conjunction, obviously, of your win condition, 8-cost category. So, you want to start going first, and you want to see 3 cards, like I said, on your hand. This is why also, hopefully, the 4 copies of Pudding and the 4 copies of Event. Hopefully, if one of the pieces does not reach your hand, you will find the Pudding or the Event to search them up on your first turn. So, first turn, let's start it. First turn, you play Pudding, you search the whatever piece you need. If you don't need any, fine, great. Second turn, you are at 3 Dawn, you play Pudding, and then you can swing with your leader. This will make you reveal the top card. You can get some information on your opponent's next draw, so that's very good. Pay attention to that, focus on that, because having this information is crucial, actually. And then your Pudding will just give you the Dawn back. You don't ramp, that's fine. Next turn, third turn, you're at 5 Dawn, you can play Perospero, do the same swing. Now, you will reveal the top card of your opponent, and then Charlotte will just recycle that Dawn, will give you the Dawn back. And finally, that's when you have the ramp. With your Perospero, which is your best way of ramping, you can reveal, you now know the top card, so now you can just declare the cost, cycle the hand, and then ramp one active Dawn. And just like that, you are on uneven curve, but next turn you're gonna be at 8, and now you can drop your category. And this means that you just enter that loop state, that loop state that is your win condition, like in the most fast way possible. You cannot do this very fast because you cannot like ramp 3 Dawns out of Sun, you know. But this is the best way you can ramp to your ace card, to your loop, which is the win condition. Even if you go second, and this is why I prefer to go first, even if you go second, you still pretty much build up on the same speed as this. So I just prefer to go first, so I have the upper hand and I can be going more aggro if I need to. That's pretty much it. That's why that's the main thing about going first. Now, let's go a little bit to Brule. Now, this is the line of combo. This is the what you want to do pretty much every turn. And now let's talk about the tech of the deck. This Brule that I told you that you can see either Pudding or Brule is because if you don't see Pudding and you cannot play it, you can still play this Brule, just remove one of your lives and ramp up one active Dawn, pretty much just like a purple Luffy leader effect. But when you swing with your leader, you cannot use your leader ability, so you are not getting information. But when you go on your third turn, when you finally have Perospero, you can play Perospero, and then you can abuse Katakuri ability on the swing, because Perospero will just sustain your Dawn and you already are on the even curve for the 8 cost block Katakuri. Where is Brule better actually than Pudding? Against Blue Doffy. If you're playing against a Blue Doffy and he has the 4 cost law and you go first, you play Pudding, you swing, you get the Dawn back, fine. But if he on the next turn plays the 4 cost law in some way, because we don't know if he's gonna get banned, probably not because he's gonna get reprinted, he will send your Pudding back to hand. And on next turn, if you play Perospero, you're not going to the even curve. You're just playing Perospero and you're still gonna be at 5 Dawn. And you cannot use Perospero effect to ramp up because you don't know what the top card is. You need to leader swing to know what the card is to make sure you ramp. You can try to guess with 4 cost, like just declare 4 cost and maybe Blue Doffy, since he runs a lot, you'll get it. But this is not safe, and to make sure it's safe, this is where Brule comes in. This is the best example I found. She's a better drop than Pudding on those effects, because you play Brule, you get the ramp, that's it. You don't, on next turn you have Perospero, you can just leader swing and so on and so forth, and then you get the 8 cost category. That is the best example of situation where dropping Pudding is not as good as playing Brule, and why we're playing for Brule with Pudding. This is the line of combo at the beginning. How do you enter the loop state? Well, the start is as soon as you play the 8 cost category. Then, once you pass turn, Katakuri will just ramp you 1 Dawn. Hopefully you will ramp up with Perospero as well, and Pudding is there to sustain, which is why Pudding is very good. Then next turn you're going to be at 9 Dawn, I believe, because now you're gonna start abusing your leader ability. So the Dawn that your Katakuri just ramped up is the Dawn you're gonna use to defend yourself with plus 1k. So you're gonna still be at 8 Dawn, and then next turn you're gonna be at 10. 9, 10, I don't know. Something like that. It doesn't matter, because what you want to do is you drop Linling. If you don't have Linling, maybe you drop another category. Normally the 10 cost Linling is not so optimal. I don't really see the opportunity to play it. Again, I just abuse the ace. The ace card, yes, which is Katakuri. You play another category, you swing with the first category you drop, you swing with Perospero, you swing with leader, and then you pass turn and you just set them all up again. And now you have 2 blockers. You ramped up all the Dawn, and you can just abuse the leader ability. And since you can abuse your leader ability on your opponent's turn now, you can use your 5k plus 5k event. This is where Perospero also gets even more value, because he ramps up 1 active Dawn, unlike your 8 cost category that ramps you passive rested Dawn as well as your pudding. So having that Perospero will help you ramp one Dawn, one active Dawn. That will help you leave that Dawn up in case you need to use the counter event. That's pretty much it. That's a whole shenanigan. You enter the loop. The more categories you drop, the better the loop. That's pretty much it. Remember, you use these swings, especially the category swings, which are 8k, to swing into board. And if your opponent drops a lot of cards in hand, that means he will not have as much resources to play on his turn, and if he lets it go, that's pressure gone. And remember, you're always gonna have these categories active to defend your lives or defend whatever you need to. With that said, this is a strategy, and I believe going first is the best way to go. Now, the tech that I'm playing Oven. Let's go with Oven first. The reason I'm playing for Oven is in case you go second. There will probably be matchups, very rare matchups like Purple Luffy, where you kind of want to go second. To be honest, now that I'm thinking on Purple Luffy, I don't know which matchup you want to go second, but let's imagine with the category you kind of want to steal going second from somebody. Oven is your best way to do that. You're already playing on even curve. That means you don't need pudding, you need to have something to do on your 4 Dawn turn. That's pretty much it. But there's no way you can ramp up. You cannot passively ramp up going second, which is another pro to going first. You cannot set up a passive ramp up by going second. Third turn, you're at 4 Dawn. Oven is here. You can play Oven, swing with the leader ability, reveal the top card, and then use Oven to ramp up and KO a 3 cost. This is where Oven is very good, and the only time he will be good is on your 4 Dawn curve. He KOs an original 3 cost. If your opponent is going first, that means if he builds board, on his second turn he's going to be at 3 Dawn. He drops the board, he does whatever he needs to, he passes turn, you're at 4 Dawn, you drop Oven, and just remove that board. That is the time that Oven is good, and the only situation where Oven is good. The only time you're going to be playing him besides that is when you really don't have anything else to play. Next is your my 2 cost Charlotte category that you guys see there. This category is good because of one thing. I told you guys that I do not run removal. Many decklists I have seen on the Discord server of the One Piece TCG are running 2 events. I prefer going consistency and use my board just like Purple Luffy. So this category is incredible tech, because just like I said, the way you play your win condition is with the 8 cost category. Once your opponent is at 8 Dawn, you play this category and then play and replace the 2 cost for the 8 cost, and now you have more Dawn. If you have more Dawn and you need to take away your opponent's board because you don't have removal, that means you have more Dawn to attach to your characters on the field to attack, to make sure you take that board down. And once again, because you just played the 8 cost category, you pass turn, and then you just flip them right back up, right back to active, and once again, you're in the loop. That's it. That's why I'm loving playing 2 categories. I don't think we should be playing more. I don't even think there's a space for more. So yeah. That's pretty much the old tech that I want to talk about. The last tech that I gonna mention, as I told you guys, I am playing the 5 cost vanilla 2k. This is because if we don't see Perospero, if we don't see like anything, for some reason we whiff. Again, I'm playing super consistent, so this is very hard to come across, thankfully. But at least we can play that vanilla 2k as 5 cost instead of Perospero. If we set up pudding, we can still abuse our leader ability. We're just not gonna be on curve for category, obviously. Maybe we can play Oven instead, but I think if we whiff really hard, which is really like if we whiff so bad that we need to do that, it's an option, you know. That's pretty much it. And obviously, sorry, maybe I do have more tech to talk about. It's Black Maria. I actually don't think we need that Black Maria that much. People were saying in the Discord to use her to ramp back up when you use your 10 cost Linkling effect, which is minus 5 Dawn. Guess the top cost of your opponent's deck. You get it right. Your leader is plus 2k, so he's at 7k for the rest of the turn. Not battle like the leader effect, for the rest of the turn. But you're minusing 5 Dawn, and so Maria would help you go back up to Dawn. To be honest, you only be using the 10 cost Linkling effect at the very last swing of your opponent, when your opponent is so choked choked up, sorry, I'm choking up, so choked up that he goes for a last turn and he tries to go lethal. He's going for it, and then that Lilian will pretty much save you, because again, we do have incredible defense. You add that to the Lilian and your leader is safe. Your opponent cannot go for lethal, and then next turn you're probably gonna go for lethal yourself. That's pretty much it. So Maria, she doesn't hurt your consistency, to be honest, and she's just an extra tech in case you need to ramp up for some reason. Another situation that people say in this Discord, if you're playing against another purple deck that has much better ramp than you, so you can copy that ramp, so to speak, because you just play Maria, ramp up, and then you keep your Dawn because your opponent is ramping up much faster than you. That's a play also. So this deck is actually really good, but I would still call it rogue tier, but top rogue tier, really top rogue tier, and very fun at that. Thank you so much for watching. I know I rant for 22-23 minutes, and this video is not that edited, but hopefully I explain why going first is the way to go. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.